channel. I'm Paula, and my channel is The Flavorful Home. And today I have a family fave to prepare for you. Meatballs. Meatballs are a coveted recipe for some family members. Meatballs stir memories from childhood, and people could be very territorial over their meatball recipes. I made the mistake many years ago to try Tyler Florence's spaghetti and meatball recipe, and boy did I get in trouble with my family. My husband said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do you not know how to make meatballs? I said, of course I do. He said, don't ever do that again. And so every family has their own spin, what ingredients they use. I'm giving you mine, and you can add to it, you can take away from it, make it yours, because nothing beats a good meatball with your Sunday dinners, in a meatball parm hero, plain fried right out of the pan. It's a great, great addition to your Sunday sauce. So let's get started. Okay, so what do we have? What do I put in my meatballs? I put chopped meat. This is a hair over 2 pounds. I put Italian sausage. Now you could also buy the bulk Italian sausage. I do that sometimes, but I had the links because I threw some in my sauce already. And so these 3 links came out to a little over 11 ounces. Again, do it to your taste. Some people also put veal. I just stick with I call it chopped meat. Let me fix that. Ground beef. Us New Yorkers call it chopped meat, and some people were like, what the heck is chopped meat? This is chopped meat or ground beef. So you got your ground beef, you got your Italian sausage, basil. I got this from my garden. I'll probably pull off maybe 4 or 5, just a small bit of parsley, and my garlic. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cloves here. Again, your recipe, your tastes. Add as much or as little of each thing as you want. Pepper, salt, I use kosher, and Parmesan cheese. This is freshly grated. I do not use that green garbage in a can. If you can't get a chunk from Costco or Sam's to grate yourself, Trader Joe's sells already grated. It makes a darn big difference, I promise you. So these are the beginnings. I also add breadcrumbs, and this much would do 2 eggs. I'm going to be honest with you, I do not know how much breadcrumb I put. I kind of eyeball it. So I'll try to measure a bit while you watch so that we can see what goes into it. You don't want too much breadcrumb because you don't want it to taste like bread. And 2 eggs is more than enough for this to just hold it together. So we'll start adding the things, and I'll be back. We get our chopped meat in the bowl. I squeeze the sausages out of their casings. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get every last drop of sausage meat out of it. But you just squeeze it in there. And you throw the casings away. Rinse my hands. I chop everything up. There was a few more, I'm going to turn it a little bit, a few more basil leaves because they were on the small side. And I pull the parsley off. I don't leave that much stem. So you want a nice fine chop. You don't want big chunks of leaves in your meatballs. Smells so good. Basil is such a beautiful scent and a lovely herb. There you go. Just sprinkle it right on top. Next up, our good friend garlic. I like my garlic minced up too. Again, you don't want a big chunk of garlic in your mouth when you bite your meatball. And that looks fine enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you don't have any giant pieces in there. You can see. Just salt and pepper to taste. What's up, Miss Violet? A few grinds around. What does she want? A nice handful of salt. Stinky fly. Just put a good amount of cheese in there. That's going to give you a lot of flavor too. And in a minute, we'll move on to measuring out the breadcrumb. Okay, we're going to add the 2 eggs. And my eggs go into my compost pile. So I put it in my little pour it in. As you can see, it's just a little bit less than a cup. So we'll start with this, and let me take this off too, because it's going to be in there. And we'll get this going, and I'll be able to tell from feel. And you squish. Squish it. Get them ingredients combined. Like you're kneading dough. Pull it from the bottom. I'm going to add a little more. And I think I'll be good. So maybe 2/3 a cup of breadcrumb. You don't want to over mix it. Believe it or not, you'll have tough meatballs. You want light, yummy meatballs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And flip. And now I do something that makes my kids sick. I have to taste it. Oh my gosh. It's perfect. It's better than perfect. It's divinely exquisite. Okay. Next up, forming the meatballs. All right, as you could see, I have the oil covered in the bottom of my pan. You want it nice and hot. I usually just take a little crumb. It's bubbling, so we're ready to go. Your meatball size is your preference. When people are making meatballs for heroes, sometimes they like to make them on the larger side. That's the size I like to make. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't weigh it out. I don't worry if they're not all exact. Yes. It's okay.
They gave me an extra frappuccino. Do you want it?
Sure, you don't have to ask me twice.
Okay. I figured I'd ask you before I asked anybody else.
And you just fill your pan all the way around. Thank you.
It's perfect because it's literally your order, but they put Colonel Dizzle on it.
Okay. No worries.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You go all the way around. You want them in there nice, but not where you can't move. So I'm going to continue on this, and I'll show you what it should look like when you turn them. You want them to have a nice brown on the bottom. And you give them a spin. And as they cook, they'll shrink, so you'll be able to get more in to the pan. Look at that, that's beautiful. And if only there was smell-o-vision. Oh. It smells like heaven in here. What I'll usually do is I'll pull from the center to the outside and then add more to the middle as it goes. There we go. just let them go. I have 3 more left. I'm going to get them all in here. I know I can do that. And the smaller ones I usually put on the side for family members to snack on before dinner is ready. And there you have it. Fried meatballs. You want all your sides to be browned nicely. You want a nice even browning. And as they brown, you plunk them right into your sauce, which a peek. I got a couple of sausage in there, and we'll add them. When we're ready to take a bite, I will bring you back. Here we go. Taste test. But I'm lying because there's about 7 people inside that have already eaten it and went, oh, so good. See the inside? You can smell the cheese. Right? It's just full of flavor, friends. They're so perfect. I gotta do one thing. I'm gonna do it this way. I put some sauce on my spoon. Bunzi, as my grandma would say. You won't be even a little disappointed. I promise you. I promise you. I'll show you real quick. I put them in my sauce too. See them all floating around in there? It'll suck up the sauce and get such a nice flavor. Okay? So good. There we go. Well, friends, I have an extra meatball if you want it. Thank you for joining me. This is another addition to the Italian Classic Recipes. I think I'm going to start a playlist so you can refer back to it. And I'm glad you visited with me. I sure hope I'm in frame. We'll find out at the end. Even if I'm not, choose joy, friends. Till the next time. Mangia.